E3 kicked off on Thursday the 10th with the Summer Games Fest. Sort of. Kinda. Technically not part of E3 and also technically not my cup of tea. They started off with Wonderlands, a game that isn't Borderlands, despite featuring a character from Borderlands and quite clearly following the naming convention. Sure. I've never played a Borderlands, I'm unlikely to start now. Then some really cool animated artist pixel art. Kojima showed up to announce the director's cut of Death Stranding, because apparently splitting Kojima Productions off into its own independent studio run by you with your own damn name on it is too much of a stifling environment to enact your true vision the first time round. And Jeff Goldblum popped up to show off the trailer for Jurassic World Evolution 2, and I'm sure that's the last we'll see of that this E3. Then came Sable. I'd tell you more about it, but there was a lady called Japanese Breakfast standing in front of the trailer. Lost Ark is a Korean MMO, published by Amazon Games, because that's a selling point, and developed by Smilegate, which sounds like the next misogynistic political controversy. We all sat around while Call of Duty told us Call of Duty were doing more Call of Duty with Twitch streamers I'd never heard of. Ryan Reynolds promoted a film that looked pretty not interesting at all. Not remotely interesting. You can play hide and seek in Among Us or something. Do you know those guys made Henry Stickmin? Found that out relatively recently. Yeah, Chicory came out. I thought it was out, but it wasn't. But now it is! Salt and Sanctuary got a sequel called Salt and Sacrifice, I've forgotten which is which already. And then there was Solar Ash, published by Annapurna, who previously published Edith Finch, Gorogoa, Donut County, and The Outer Wilds, so this one might actually be good. Next was Mordhau. Wait a minute. And then Valorant. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. The trailer for Escape from Tarkov consisted of the same shot 90,000 times. And Two Point Campus got an official reveal. Who could have seen that coming? A Microsoft. Smite, whatever Smite is, got some Stranger Things skins that really doesn't feel worth having a trailer about. There might be a Payday 3, I don't know, they just showed us a picture in amongst various games that are either coming out or already out, so I don't know what the hell that was. Anacrusis was a terribly titled shooty game via Deathloop. Rocket League got some cars from Fast and Furious, that really doesn't feel worth having a trailer about. And Blood Hunt is a multiplayer game via Twilight. Apparently, the people behind Until Dawn are already 2 games deep into their own gamematic universe called the Dark Pictures Anthology, with a 3rd on the way. I have not been keeping up to date with that. Tales of Arise is a JRPG. Sky is a mobile game getting ported to Switch. And Planet of Lana gave me prettier but less interesting four-sided fantasy vibes. Overwatch 2 has made all their characters 10% thicker to appeal to its core demographic of Rule 34 artists. Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance is a video game and not one you'll find in tabletop sim, which I feel fundamentally misunderstands the point of D&D. Paladins X Genlock arrives July 2021. Cool, I don't know what that means. And Monster Hunter Stories 2 left all its audio at home, and not even in a funny way like that Mummy trailer. Then came Wave Break, I'll tell you more about it, but a band called Weezer was standing in front of the trailer. Endless Dungeon is a description of this damn conference. Giancarlo Esposito is incredibly charismatic, but still can't quite sell me on Far Cry 6. Fall Guys is getting a Nier Automata skin, so now you can upskirt a jelly bean. That really doesn't feel worth having a trailer about. And Genshin Impact came out last year. That's not a trailer, that's just an advert. Dev/at/on Games are making a game for PlayStation. As for what, they're not telling. Cheers, lads! And then the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra performed some music from Sonic Unleashed, a game from 2008 with an average score across platforms of 62 on Metacritic. Why is anyone's guess? Back 4 Blood is a zombie game. Somebody please remind me why I wanted to watch this. And then the news that Tunic, the game that asked what if Zelda but furry, isn't dead and is getting a demo, legitimately reminded me why I wanted to watch this. Genuinely, at time of writing, the best bit of news from the entire E3. Tribes of Midgard popped up to kill the Viking horse the industry is inevitably going to beat. And speaking of dead horses, Evil Dead is another zombie game. And finally, they ended on some little game nobody cares about called Elder's Ring? Elden Ring? Elden Ring. But it wasn't over yet. Immediately after was Double Fine's Day of the Devs, a very welcome excuse for folks at Double Fine to promote games they think are cool, including but not limited to Toem, a game that asks if you want to take photos to solve puzzles. Yes, I do. Garden Story, a game that asks if you want to be a grape. Yes, I do. Soup Pot, a game that asks if you want to make some soup. Yes, I do. Vocabulantis, a game that asks if you want to appreciate the sheer damn effort that goes into making a stop-motion game. Funnily enough, yes, I do. Walk, a game that asks if you want to play as a defensive schoolgirl avoiding demons on her way home. Nah, I'll probably give that one a miss. And ending on more news about Oxenfree 2, the ARG is back on, people, man your battle stations. Thank God for Double Fine, eh? Showing off the games that are actually original and worth playing in this industry. They're often overlooked because they don't pull in the crazy big bucks. Maybe, just maybe, there's some hope yet. SE3 won't be so bad after all.